Alright guys, this is our weekly solo players guide to the Nightfall. We do this every single Tuesday and Wednesday with all three classes, Warlock, Hunters, and Titans. So between today and tomorrow, you will be getting the rest of those guides up and available to watch. In the description box down below is going to be a link to those videos. So if you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit subscribe, because we also do every single Tuesday, except last week, Challenge of the Elders guides. We take one class that I assume is going to do the best point making, and then we just rock that guide. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, go ahead and hit subscribe. Otherwise, we're also doing not $1,000 giveaway. Hell no. 1,000 sub giveaway as soon as we hit 1,000 subs. So I'm going to put a link in the description down below that talks about that. If you're only interested in seeing what I'm actually giving away, I think it's about the 3-minute mark you want us to get to. It's a little bit of a ranty video, and I apologize about that. But this one is going to be a little bit of a ranty one too, because I've got a lot of energy right now. So good luck. Anyways, let's go ahead and look at the modifiers this week, and then we'll look at our setup, what we're rocking as far as subclass, weapons, my suggestions on all of those, and then we'll rock the guide. Modifiers this week include Solar Burn. Solar damage from any source is greatly increased. Specialist. Special weapon damage is favored. Ironclad. More enemies have shields, which is really just the knights, and that only gets rough really at the end, so not too bad. Exposure. Guardian shields are increased but do not replenish. This can get a bit tricky in the boss fight. It's pretty much the boss fight that we're really going to be going over. We'll go over everything else, obviously, but we'll spend the most time in the boss fight. That might be per usual. I don't know. And then, of course, Daybreak. We're going on this, I think it's 4 or 6 weeks of Daybreak Nightfall strikes. This is week 3, right? I think this is week 3. So we either have 2 or 3 more Daybreaks before it goes back to the once a month, once every 4 weeks. But what it is, if you don't know, is it will give you incredibly fast ability recharges. So your grenades, your melees, and your supers are going to be charging you'll practically get a super every 30 seconds or so, which is fantastic. I wish they would add these to the the heroic strike playlist. That would be, oh my gosh, that would be so much fun. I wish Bungie, if you're watching this video, which I highly doubt, check it out and just try it out, man. We only got a month left of Destiny 1. Anyways, let's go over our setup. As you know, you're probably getting tired of seeing this weapon. It's the Hand of Judgment, a high impact scout rifle, or really any kind of scout rifle is going to do you good. But with Specialist, that takes away from your primary and heavy weapon output, damage output, and adds it to your special ammo. You're going to want as much damage output as possible from both your heavy, not so much your heavy, but definitely your primary, just to make up for that. So Devil's Dawn is really great. We do these no raid weapons anymore. I've got a lot of comments that thank me for that, so that's what we're gonna do from here on out, at least in Destiny 1. I highly doubt that I'll switch in Destiny 2. I'm not social enough. Anyways, Devil's Dawn is really great. Event Horizon, Icebreaker would be pretty decent, but it would mess up our flow of things in the final section. Or Ex Machina, if you've got that in Solar. Any one of those 3 are going to be your best friend throughout this entire strike. Even the Knights, as long as you hit that precision shot with full shields, and assuming you're like 390 light and up, will one-shot all Knights because of solar damage and Specialist combined. So it's awesome. And then we start off with the Silver Dread, but then once we get to the boss fight, we rock Iron Gallahorn, and let me tell you what, it is it does work. Even with some damage being taken away, holy cow, dude. It's like year one Gjallarhorn. That's stretching it. That's stretching it a little bit. But it takes out chunks with every rocket. You'll see that when we get there. Anyways, we're also, of course, rocking Sunbreakers. Increases the duration of your solar grenade while gaining an additional solar grenade charge. So not only are you going to get 2 solar grenades charges, but they're also going to last, I think, double the amount of time. That seems to be the reoccurring theme, which means you got touch, which opens up Touch of Flame. All grenades ignite enemies, causing damage over time. So your grenade hits something, it's going to burn, and it's going to burn for a good portion. Of that, which thanks to Sunbreakers, you don't have to worry about Gift of the Sun. You also want Viking Funeral. Wow, that sounded southern. That sounded really southern. Wow. Anyways, sorry, I'm really pretty decent mood today. So it's gonna be a little ranty. Viking Funeral targets afflicted with Touch of Flame take more damage from all sources, stacks up to 3 times. So you'll see how this works, especially in the final boss fight. Why I say Gjallarhorn with these grenades is almost a must. Then I use Flame Shield. Gives you a little shield for a short amount of time with every melee hit. I've literally never used anything else in all of Destiny 1. Since Vanilla Destiny, it's always been Flame Shield for me. So if you like something better, let me know in the comment section down below. Maybe I'll try it out. Obviously, you want self-res. When you die, pop your super, and you can come right back to life. Otherwise, you're starting that boss fight over. Maybe, unless you're better than I am. And then, of course, you want to rock solar grenades. Solar grenades, solar grenades, solar grenades. Trust me, with this build, you're going to fly through this boss fight. And speaking of that, let's go ahead and rock the guide. Alright guys, so the first half of this Nightfall is going to be it's going to go by really quick. But in this first room, there's just going to be a bunch of Hive fighting some Fallen. There's going to be one or two wizards, a captain, some vandals, and a couple of acolytes. Nothing really to sweat at all, especially with specialists and solar. Just throw your grenades. As you see, they're coming back really quick. And then you can just run straight through this room. Just make sure you kill everything, get those points, and then we'll move right on in. Next up is this first, this is gonna be like your test room to see how well leveled up you are, which is always the case with this strike. But since we get the Hive version of this strike, the first round is going to be really simple. It's just going to be a bunch of, not dregs, but thralls. There's going to be a few cursed thralls. And I want to say there's going to be 1 or 2 wizards. I think there's 2 wizards this round. So what you want to do is just kind of run over here. And you're just going to use this area for cover. You can literally just throw your grenades on the stairs there. And you'll hit just about everything, and with the burns, it should take just about all of them out. As you can see, the wizards will pop in and out. The thralls will kind of check you out here and there, but for the most part, you should be very safe. Once you leave, I think you only need to leave 1 enemy alive for the next wave to start. And the next wave, I believe, is a bunch of acolytes and I think there's 4 Hive Knights, obviously Hive. But they're going to be a mix between major and normal, so I can't exactly tell you how many major acolytes there are. I want to say there's 4, but I could be wrong. And I believe there's also 2. Actually, I don't think there's any major knights. I think all the majors are the acolytes, as far as I can remember. So again, this is pretty easy as well. Just stay back, try and get as many headshots with your sniper as possible, and then just keep throwing grenades over there as often as possible as well. That'll help out a lot with clearing out the acolytes, even the major ones. As you can see, they're just going down really quickly. And then the final round sometimes switches it up, I'm not gonna lie. So you could either get 3 wizards, or you're gonna get 2 ogres and 1 major wizard. You're always gonna get at least one major wizard in this third and final round, as you'll see. This time we got the ogres, but pretty much it's just gonna stay the same as far as strategy goes. Just throw grenades where they're spawning in, and then just use your heavy to clean them up. Your heavy or your special weapon, whichever you're preferring to use in this section. But other than that, we're just gonna go ahead and let this play out, so you guys can see kind of how I do what I do. And then, yeah, we'll go to the next part. Alright, so in this section, it's just going to be just like the first section we talked about. There's going to be Hive fighting dregs and stuff. There's going to be 1 major captain in the middle of the room. Just go ahead and throw a grenade at him. He pretty much will die from that. And then just kind of clean him up with your whichever weapon you really prefer, to be honest. These things get really annoying. I hate those little hive traps. And then there's also just going to be some acolytes you got to clean up, and then 1 normal health ogre. Just throw a grenade on top of that dude. He'll melt pretty decently quick, as you can see, really quick. And then just make sure if you get any ammo boxes, pick those up. Pick up the whatever little ammo's lying around that randomly generates from enemies. Pick those up and move on. Now this next section can be a little tricky, but it shouldn't give you too much trouble at all. There's just going to be a bunch of thralls. There's going to be 2 or 3 knights, one of them being a major knight, and then there's going to be 2 normal health wizards. Now the one you really want to watch out for is this guy right here, especially if you don't have your supercharged or you're not using self-res. He's going to be he deals out a lot of damage just because he's a major. So throw as many grenades at him as possible, use your special ammo, really weather him down until he's no more. And then it's pretty much just stay back, pick off the all the knights. As you can see, they're going down 1 headshot to the face with your special weapon. Hopefully you're using a highest impact sniper. I really do suggest you guys pick those up if you have them. And then with these guys, just take them out. They're just real easy, normal health acolytes. And then I wouldn't pop that box quite yet. As you can see, I'm like, oh snap, I know what I'm doing. But what you want to do is just save that box. And depending on what you're using, if you're using Gallahorn and you get both boxes, light them up with Gallahorn shots and special shots. There's going to be 2 wizards as you saw, and I think 3 knights. There's 2 or 3 more knights, and a few acolytes. Nothing to stress over at all. That section's going to go really fast. But go ahead and just pick up all your ammos. Kill the rest of these little acolytes. Sometimes they're hiding around here, but luckily there's not chafe going on, so that's nice. You can see this is where I switch over to the Gallahorn. And then once you jump on the ship, you should get 2 Hive wizards that spawn in. They will go down with 1 sniper shot. I don't think it has to be a precision shot, which it doesn't, as you can see. So just kill both of those wizards real quick and easy. Jump on down to this ship and then ride this thing until you're close enough to where you can jump into the next area. It will eventually disappear, so don't think you can just ride it all the way up. I'm not sure how close you can get, but you just jump when you feel like you can make the jump. And then we'll move on into the final boss fight. Alright, so once you get here, what you want to do, hopefully you have some special weapon ammo. Unfortunately, I do not. What you want to do is you want to snipe all of the knights out. There's going to be one where you just saw jump off of. He's going to jump back up on there if he does jump down. And then you're going to want to shoot the one in the middle. And then you're going to shoot 2 in the far back. Once you get rid of them, you want to jump all the way back, as you'll see. However you run to, and that is going to be pretty more or less your safe first spot. I did die there for some reason. A shrieker was able to hit me as well as one of the knights, which usually does not happen. Usually you can just stay up on there just fine, no big deal. But if not, it's no big deal. Let's go ahead and kill these guys, and then you can run all the way over to the where the left of us, to the left of us from where we are right now, and you can kind of hide way in the back corner. You can kind of really slide down in there. I don't think you'll be able to see that in this particular run, but you can do it, and you usually are pretty decently safe. But what you want to do is, just to start off with, just keep throwing grenades at them this whole time. Hate those things, but go ahead and just keep throwing your grenades, and then as soon as you hear the enemy start spawning, just go ahead and run over here, and you can literally just throw a grenade and it'll kill most of them. As you can see, there are a bunch of knights that are going to spawn in, and they're going to be just like where they were before. 2 where we are now, 1 in the middle, and 1 in the far front. Go ahead and take all those guys out, and then just continue dealing damage to the boss. There we go. See, I really hate those things. They pop up, and be very careful if you're using Gallahorn. I actually died because one of those things spawned in just as I was shooting my rockets, and I didn't have a super. So that sucked. But go ahead and just throw your grenades as often as possible. Just unleash on this guy. You'll literally see it takes like 2 minutes to kill this dude. But if you get really desperate for health and you don't have a super, just stay back here. You can hide behind this pillar right here. Or like I said before, you can go even further to our right and just kind of hide on that very far back. There's actually a ledge that goes way back that you can step on. But like I said, I did get killed back there for some reason tonight, and a shrieker was able to touch me. In these waves, there are going to be more and more shriekers, as well as knights that spawn in, so just be careful. But as you can see, for the most part, they're actually leaving me alone. For the most part. Self-res for the win right there. Go ahead and at least, at the very least, take out these two knights and the one in the middle. That very front one shouldn't give you too much trouble. And then just kind of throw grenades at the boss and kind of at the enemies that are spawned in around him. And then once you feel comfortable, if you're using Galahorn, watch this. Pop your heavy synth and just throw your grenades and go to town. I will suggest using your tracking, so like aim down sights with Galahorn, just so, because if you don't know, an intrinsic perk that you don't see on the gun is actually grenades and horseshoes, and if it gets close enough to that shrieker, it will kill it, and that shrieker blast will take you down. So just be very careful of that. But otherwise, just throw grenades, throw rockets, and then you should be able to just finish them off with your sniper or your primary or both. And just like that, we're done. Just stay alive a little bit longer until that timer stops. And then yeah, so as far as rewards go, pretty decent. Like I said at the beginning of the video, links are in the description down below for 2 more Nightfall guides, as well as our Challenge of Elder guides. That's definitely going up this week. And what else? Yeah, other than that, rewards are playing out right now. So I'll shut up. Hopefully I'll see you guys in the next video, and I'll talk to you soon.
We can come back for them when you're ready. Let's get you home.